What's going on, Tottenham community? My name is Leo COYS. I'm part of Colorado Spurs, and I'm a diehard Tottenham Hotspur fan. I'm joined by my homie, the one and only. If you haven't caught him on Parker's Pitch, you could catch him right here live in the flesh on the only Tottenham Hotspur podcast that's 5,280 feet above sea level. Welcome to episode number 27. Parker, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. We got a really important game this weekend. It could cement our top four place. It could really help us just push for that top four, and then it could also just be detrimental for Chelsea if we win. So it's a big game.
Yeah.
A lot is at stake. I think a Chelsea win, it could be. It could be a good win for them. It could be a big win for us. So, yeah, it's a big game this weekend. I'm excited. How are you?
It is. Yeah, no, bro. Besides Frozen, I'm actually doing pretty good. For those of you guys who don't know, Denver right now has been frigid, below zeros temperature we have gotten into, and some snow. So
Yeah,
gotta stay warm. Gotta stay warm, baby.
It was -10 when I went to my car this morning. -10.
Yeah, that's
Miserable.
Fahrenheit. That's Fahrenheit. So we're talking maybe like
-10 Fahrenheit. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's even like a lot lower Celsius for the people that use that way of measuring.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I never really understood it, but it's freezing to say the least. That Celsius or Fahrenheit, it is brutally cold. But look, man, you did touch on it. It is an important game that's coming up this weekend. It's gonna help our odds out for a top four. I mean, we need to win this game in order to stay in the top four. So it's definitely important. It does help us, how Liverpool did beat Newcastle on the weekend, and so now we are looking really good.
Yeah.
And so we do have a couple of guests. One of our guests called in sick. He's not feeling too good, so we wish him the best. Dermot, hopefully you're feeling good, brother. If you're able to watch this, just know that we wish you the best, and hopefully you're feeling better. It is late for you guys out there. We totally understand. So unless you guys are on this time zone or this side of the world, I totally understand. And so our guests that are here, we do appreciate. And even some of our viewers, some of the people in the comment that like to stay up really late. It's much appreciated, right, Parker?
Yeah, big up John Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, for sure. Big up to all you guys. We'll go through some comments here a little bit as soon as we bring on our guests. But you guys, if you guys did see the thumbnail, you are aware of who our guests are. So without further ado, I'm going to bring on the first one. And as all we have the Queen Elly.
Hey, that song is actually of us.
From
Esther's
the
Colorado Spurs. That's us, baby.
Yeah, that's us singing at the pub.
I love it.
Yeah. How you doing, Elly?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm awake and I'm ready to go.
That's all that counts. That's all that counts. We appreciate you. We do have one more guest, and I'm not going to take any longer. I'm just going to bring on the homie. He is making his debut on our show, and so he gets to walk. Yeedo. HazSpur, how you doing, bro?
Hey, I'm good. You? Thanks for having me on.
Thank you for coming on, bro. It's been a while that we've been trying to make it work, bro. So I'm glad that everything kind of, when you hit me up, I was actually watching your show, and you said you were able to make it, bro. I called Parker. I texted Parker right away and changed all the plans because I've been wanting for you to come on our show, bro. So we appreciate you being able to, homie.
I'm on your show as well. It's just time stuff in it, But yeah, we got here in the end.
Yeah.
It is difficult to make it at midnight. I can't imagine because I wouldn't join any streams at midnight. I don't think I can make it. I work too early in the morning. So
yeah.
So big up to you guys for being here.
Before we go any further, we would like to encourage you guys to check out our Instagram, to follow us at Mile High Hotspur. You guys can also drop us a follow on Twitter at Mile High Hotspur. And we do also, have a Patreon if that's something you guys would be able to, consider. Anybody that watches our videos definitely could be part of the community. We have Patreon, 3 different type of tiers there. Or if not, you can always just smash the like and subscribe. That's an easy way of showing your support for the channel and the support for the Tottenham community. And just to remind you guys that, we are Denver's own Denver's own Tottenham podcast with your boy Leo COYS and Parker COYS. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'm gonna go through some of these comments real quick, guys, and then we'll get going with everything. Let's see here who we have. Of course, we have the big homie Jacob. Big up to you, homie. Big up to United Spurs of America. On the road to 1K, so get in there. Help them guys get there for sure. And also too. Let's wait patiently for some El Paso stuff going on, some El Paso Spurs. If you guys didn't know, Jacob is the what's the word I'm looking for?
Or maybe the
he's like the he's the chairman. Yes, he is the chairman of the El Paso Spurs. So yeah, for sure. Football Ferreira. ¿Qué onda, amigo? Big up to you. I was watching his stream earlier. His team Barca is out of the Europa League, so we send you some support and love from all of us, bro. Barca was looking really good. He also agrees that this is a big game coming up.
Europa League next year.
Could be a big boost for Chelsea if they win, but a loss for them Chelsea fans will go even harder on Potter out. Yes. Look, Football Ferreira, there is this thing that us Tottenham Hotspur, the Tottenham Hotspur community, Tottenham is known as being Dr. Tottenham. So whenever your team is going through it and you need to see the doctor, just call upon us and we'll make things better. We're hoping that doesn't come up this weekend, but you're right. A loss could be detrimental, and a win, honestly, would just be like another day.
It's
bro.
A big game. It really is, because we haven't. I mean, Chelsea hasn't won against, or we haven't won against Chelsea at home for a long time, or away, win or home or away.
Last time we beat them.
Say it again.
I was in nappies the last time we beat Chelsea.
I think the last time was before we left White Hart Lane. It was that season. That's why I checked the statistics on that.
I think we beat them in the League Cup. We beat them in the League Cup final. That's the main thing.
It was on penalties, I think, though, wasn't it?
I hate how they're our freaking. They're like our bogey team. You know what I mean? Always leave it up to them to be our fucking bogey team. John Fitzpatrick says
has to be the time.
John Fitzpatrick says, "Big up, boys, for me." Yeah, go ahead, Elly.
No, we beat them twice in finals, and they beaten us once. So we're 2-1 up in finals. We beat them in the FA Cup in 1967. We beat them 2-1, and we beat them 2-1 in the League Cup final as well in extra time.
2008.
I was there actually. I was there.
Yeah, I was there.
Good for you guys.
That was a couple years before Parker and I actually became Tottenham Hotspur fans. So I mean, but trust me, if had I known what I was missing, I would have been paying attention. Although I feel like it would have been really hard for us back then to be able to watch the games. Like now, it's really easy for anybody anywhere to watch Premier League games, as opposed to even 10 years ago, 10, 15 years ago, it was extremely hard for you to be able to watch a Premier League game, let alone a League Cup game. So it would have been something really hard to come across.
Was it before NBC Sports, Leo, then?
Yes, it was.
All right.
Yeah, NBC Sports has been probably what I want to say 6 years, maybe 5 years. I could be wrong, give or take a year or two. But when I first started watching, it was really hard for us to watch games. I know I used to have to go over to my friend's house, and they had some sort of streaming networks that we would use.
I used to just have to go to the local soccer pub.
Don't we ask Greeks have our own ways to stream things as well?
That's because the Americans, a lot of Americans.
I'm not going to get into it. We have ways to watch games.
Yeah, there are no bar. There are not very many pubs that are football based or soccer based. So you gotta just find maybe the one or two that are in.
Now there is though. Nowadays there is though. So that's a good thing, right, Parker?
There's a little more, but still not a lot.
Because don't you guys get the
Isn't
3
it a-
o'clock games as well?
Yeah.
As in 3 o'clock English time games as well, don't you?
Yeah. So that would be what 10. I think 10 o'clock here. It's almost like we get on Peacock, bro. They're pretty good about putting all the games out there, and then
That's really good.
it's really expensive to be able to watch football on a regular basis. But yeah, anyways, big up to John Fitzpatrick. Thank you for joining us, brother. He says, big up, boys. For me, Chelsea will run over us. They just have our number. I was there the last time we beat them at Wembley. Yeah, and John, you hit the nail right on the head with the hammer, bro. It's gonna be a freaking tough game. The last time they beat us was at Wembley, and so for some reason I hate this game. I hate Chelsea and Chelsea fans more than I do Arsenal and Arsenal fans. And this fixture to me is just like, man, I don't know.
That's because your brother's a Chelsea fan. Same with me. It just it hits home and it's personal for us.
My brother could be a Gooner and I would still not like the Chelsea fans and Chelsea. I just don't know what it is, bro. I think it's because when I started watching and hanging out with my homies, a good bunch of them were Chelsea fans, and I just remember them hyping up Drogba and Anelka and Maluda and Petr Cech and all these guys, and I'm just like, same reason I don't go for Arsenal.
Remember
you know what
Ramirez, I mean? That little.
Yeah, Ramirez, a little Brazilian.
Guy.
Yeah, Brazilian.
Oh, he was Brazilian, wasn't he?
Yeah. So just for me, it's just different.
Elly, your voice is a little echoed. It sounds like you're kind of far away.
Is it? Okay.
Am I the only one?
Better now.
We'll have to just see. We'll write it out.
Alright? I had sound issues earlier. Is mine alright?
Yeah, yours is good.
Okay.
I was actually watching your show but somebody's it was. You got to figure it out. It's good. It's good.
I know the echo. Yeah.
What's up, Kellum? Big up to you, my homie. I hope you're doing good. This here is the homie Kellum. He always pops up on his dad's account, Dave Knighton. So big up to you, my homie. We don't belong to Europa League. Spurs don't belong to the Champions League. Oh, those are fighting words. Those are fighting words.
You don't belong in the Europa League, even? Really?
No, he's talking about his team, Barcelona. He's a Barcelona fan.
Gotcha.
But he makes it all better because he put the laughing emojis, so that's okay. United wanted more than us and deserve. Congratulations to them. We will move on. Priority is La Liga, and we're looking good to win this season. Next season we'll be back in Champions League, and hopefully, you're right, bro. You know what, dude? I'm not gonna hate on your team. All I'm gonna say is, I don't know if you guys watch the highlights or have been paying attention to the Europa League, but we have been paying attention to what Manchester United has been doing, and Manchester United is just freaking hot right now. You guys picked, it was just a bad time facing Manchester United because they're the way they're playing, the way Rashford is playing, they're going to steamroll anybody in their path. And so don't feel bad, bro. You guys got beat by a better team. I would be saying that if they beat us too, I mean, it is what it is.
Rashford right now. I mean, he's absolutely on fire. Like he just sees the opportunity and he just takes it.
Yeah.
Thursday's night's too cold, not for me. Yeah. Thursday nights are not ideal nights to play football, right, guys?
Yeah.
Come on, you Spurs. John Stay Moist. That's a new name. I appreciate you stopping by, bro. Come on, you Spurs. Enjoy the stream, people. It's bedtime. Smash the like and sub, people. Adios, hermano. Vamos. Adios. You have a good one, bro.
Vamos.
Sweet dreams. And then here too, another statement that's spot on. United are dry pussies. They sure are, but they're freaking hot right now. So I mean,
they're above us in the table.
And I hope they actually catch Arsenal and pass Arsenal. I think I'd prefer United to win the title instead of City. I just don't want Arsenal to get it. So.
Arsenal title, Leo. My phone will I have to switch it off for about a month, I think. Because that's a message I'll probably get.
I don't want them to. Real quick, I know it's not Tottenham related, but I mean, I just want a quick fire prediction real fast after I read this. We are in a good spot for FA Cup. All we need is Man United to get knocked out. Yeah, that's true right there, Kellen. That's a good one. Elly, I'm gonna go to you first, real quick. This weekend is the I was gonna say the Carling Cup, but it's the Carabao Cup final. United versus Newcastle. Just real quick, who do you think wins?
Well, on form, you'd think Man United would win, but I think Newcastle will win because they're going to go all out for it, right? Because this is their first opportunity to win a trophy since 1969. They haven't won a trophy, so they've had a longer drought than us. But I think they've just got that team spirit, and I think they can beat Man United if they apply themselves. And they've got a lot of really, really good players. And they're solid defensively. It's just they've fallen off the bandwagon in the last few games, haven't they? But I don't know. I think they'll be up for it still. I think they're just gonna. I think it's gonna be a close one. One goal's gonna decide it. One goal either way. Yeah. But I'm hoping Newcastle win it because Man United, they can win any time, can't they? With all their money and everything. But now Newcastle, the new kids on the block, they're the new money, aren't they? Yeah.
Raz, how do you feel about this weekend's game? Quick prediction. How do you think it's going to end up?
I think he'll go to extra time, number one. I think Nick Pope not being there for Newcastle is a massive loss for them. I'm not sure who their backup keeper is, but I can't imagine he's as good as Nick Pope. Is Dubravka being called back?
Yeah, he has. Yeah, for Manchester United. Yeah,
and he's played for Manchester United, right, in the League Cup. So if he loses, he's still good for a winner's medal.
Oh my gosh!
I know.
He has to lose to get the medal. I know, it's really weird, but
yeah, he wins no matter what.
I think United are going to win. I think in the end, unfortunately, I think Rashford is probably going to score the winner and probably 2-1 to United in extra time.
Okay. Yeah. Well, Parker, you get the deciding bid, bro. Elly's got Newcastle. Haz's got United. Who do you have?
I agree with HazSpur, man. I think that Manchester United will definitely pull out this win. I think, like he said, Nick Pope being out, that's a big, big blow for them. I mean, he has the most clean sheets in the league. He is really important to their defense. And I know they have Dan Burn and a couple other good players. They have a good defense, that's for sure. But I think Manchester United's attacking force is just too good. They have too many weapons. And Ten Hag right now just has them, on cloud 9. And I think they can do anything right. I think they can beat any team in the world right now, honestly, Manchester United. So, and Newcastle have been struggling recently. Like, they've had a bunch of ties, a bunch of draws in a row. And then recently they lost. And I don't know. I think their form is just not as good as Manchester United's. But when it comes to a cup final, everybody's putting everything out on the line, right? It doesn't matter about form at this point. But I still think Manchester United are going to edge it. They just, I don't know. I just think they are just flying high right now, and I think their form is just going to continue. So.
Well, Shane B, welcome to the chat. Thank you for joining us, brother. He says, I think that United will win this easily. I think it's going to be 3-1 United win. I can agree with all three of you guys. I could see this going honestly either way. Alejandro says, is Casemiro not out for United? I don't know if he is or isn't. If he plays, that's definitely gonna be a
if he's
a plus
any
for
sort
them.
of fit whatsoever, he'll play because he's so
playing
important for
sure.
them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Good evening, everyone. Elly, always the Energizer Bunny. What do you have to say? What do you say for yourself, Elly, the Energizer Bunny? Thank you for being an Energizer Bunny. So it's always good to see you on streams. Lisa, big up to you. Thank you for joining us. It is freezing here in Denver, and I can only imagine the beach in Cancun is probably feeling pretty nice right now. So I'm envious. Espero que todo está bien con usted.
I'm going to Cancun in April, so I'll be right there with you in Mexico.
Nice one.
Big up to you, Jacob. Yeah, do some nice vlogging out there.
Yeah.
Lisa says Casemiro is out. All right, you guys. Well, Hold
The
on.
weather's really nice.
Can't lie. The weather is really nice. I'm jealous. I bet it is. Yeah.
Let's see
It's
what
freezing
the
here.
weather is right now. Just is. Let's see. It's loading. 12 degrees Fahrenheit, not Celsius. Fahrenheit.
Already Fahrenheit here.
I don't know what that is. I have no idea what that is Celsius. I'll have to look. But.
Fucking freezing. Today, El Paso weather was perfect. Yo, Jacob, I know I texted you the other day, bro. Again, I'm just going to reiterate my words, bro. Be safe. Yeah, bro. When I heard about, some stuff, it's the homie Jacob. And I hope, just shit gets crazy all across the world. And this goes for all of you guys in the chat and on the and on the stream. Just, if I could encourage you, just reach out to people you don't say hi to every day and tell them hi, because you never know what type of bullshit is around the corner. And it's always better to at least go to bed knowing you sent your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your cousin, you guys fought last Christmas or whatever the case is, a message telling them hi. So big up to you, Jacob, hermano, says Shane.
I wanted to say something real quick. It is, I looked it up. Celsius, negative 11 Celsius right now where we are. So, yeah, pretty cold.
Is that minus 11?
Yeah, negative 11, minus 11, yeah.
Freezing.
Oh my god.
Celsius.
When it goes minus 1 in England, that's cold, but minus 11, wow.
Oh, it was even way colder than that this morning.
Oh, it was negative.
Like minus.
Oh, let me just tell you how cold it was this morning. It was negative 10 Fahrenheit, which is negative 23 degrees Celsius this morning when I went to my car. But that was really early. I was at like 6 a.m.
Wow.
But also, Lisa, I'm actually going to Mérida as well as Cancun. So if you can give me some tips about Mérida, that would be greatly appreciated.
The homie's going to be in the jungle. Mom's going to be in the jungle.
Yucatan, baby.
All right. Well, look, there's usually a format to this show, but I'm just going to dive into I have 2 games for us to play today, but I'm just going to dive into one of the games, then we'll go over some stuff, and then we'll dive into the second game. So the first game is going to be a short game. It's called Who Am I? It's very simple. I'm going to give you some clues, and you guys in the comments also. No Googling, please. Do not use Google. Just try and use your brain knowledge. And at the end of the segment, we'll see if anybody comes up with it.
Who are you?
All right.
Let's go.
This is the first clue, okay? I'm 35 years old. I played for Spurs and was part of that 2008 team that won the League Cup. That's not a good clue. I'll give you guys another clue.
2008.
I've played for Dortmund, AC Milan, Schalke, Besiktas, and Barcelona, Tottenham, Portsmouth, and many
I know who it
teams.
is. I know who it is.
Okay.
He said it first. Right. Go ahead.
Okay. No, wait.
Oh, okay.
You could put it's a fairly easy one. It really is. It's a fairly easy one. I wanted to start. So hold on. I wanted to make it easier. Elly, I don't think Elly knows it yet, so I'm going to put on another clue. Elly, my brother is also a footballer.
My brother is also a footballer.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Okay. You have one more clue.
Yeah, go on.
One more clue for everybody in the chat too. And this is the one that's probably going to give it away. I could have been capped by Germany. Instead, I chose Ghana.
Kyle Whitley knows. Kyle Whitley's in the chat.
I'm not going to put his comment up yet, but he does know who it is. Yeah, he does know who it is. Elly, you can't look at the chat yet.
Don't look at the chat.
Right, no. So he played in our 2008 League Cup final.
Yes. He is a trophy winner with Tottenham Hotspur. Right? I'll go back. I'll put him back up. Let me see. Let me pull these up here. Yes. He's played for Dortmund, AC Milan, FC Schalke, Besiktas, Barcelona, Tottenham, and Portsmouth. Portsmouth should give it away. I think that's what gave it away for HazSpur, but I could be wrong. And many more. If you don't know, like box office says, you better get to knowing.
You don't know, get to know.
You don't know, get to know. All right. Well, we're gonna keep going with it, and big up to Kyle Whitley. Yido, that's a class hit right there, my homie. Yeah.
Should I say who it is then, or not?
Yeah, go on, put me out my misery.
Okay, Kevin Prince Boateng. Kevin Prince Boateng. Yeah, Kevin Prince Boateng.
But he didn't play for us in the 2008 Cup final.
He did. He came on.
That's exactly what I thought too. I was like, wait,
he came on as a sub.
He was a sub.
Yeah.
I just couldn't think of who it was.
Yeah,
no one gave away
I
for me. I know it wasn't actually Portsmouth. It was what's his name? Schalke as one of the team.
Schalke.
Oh,
yeah,
that was
Schalke.
a tough one.
Mm-hmm.
That was really tough. I couldn't figure it out before the show.
Yeah, because he went and played in Germany.
He even played for Barcelona. I remember that as well.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Jacob says take a Spurs shirt, Parker, and rep us in the jungle.
I will.
Yeah.
Make sure to do that.
All right. Well, that was a quick little round, right? That was an exciting way to bring in the game. This one is going to be a little harder. Let me just go ahead and get rid of some of these here.
Harder than that?
Yeah. I think so.
He played for us for he had 14 appearances total. That was a hard one, man. That was really tough.
He barely played for us. You're right. He barely played for us.
That's why that was a tough one.
Okay.
I remember because he was injured and he wasn't ready to play, but they actually put him on the subs bench. Yeah.
Came on, I think, for the last 10 minutes or something. I can't remember something.
Yeah, because he'd been injured for quite a long time in that season, wasn't he?
He took off one of the strikers. I think he put Boateng on. I think that's what I remember. Yeah. To close the game out, I guess. Yeah.
It says the fuck Kevin Prince Boateng won the cup with Spurs. The shit you learn on this channel, bro.
Yeah. I know. I can't imagine this next one being harder than that. Really.
I know. I'm trying to think of what could be harder than that.
That was tough, man.
Look up to you, my homie Bobby K.
Up, Bobby.
Nice to see you, bro.
Good, Bobby K.
All right, this one's going to be a little tougher. Maybe it is. I don't know. I mean, I think it's going to be tougher. Let me see. 1 second here.
Fourth most caps. This should be easier.
I am also 35 year old. I have the fourth most caps for Tottenham all time.
I think I've got a good guess for this.
I started my career at Leeds United and joined Spurs for the 05-06 season.
I think I know who this is.
Okay, hold on 1 second.
Easier. Much easier.
I was eligible to play for Ireland through my mom, but I was instead capped 21 times for England. Okay, let me see. Okay, well,
let's see if the chat knows. Chat, put your answers in there. We'll see if you guys know first.
We'll wait a few. And then this one here is probably going to give it away, but I'm going to put it in here anyways. Let me see. After my time in London, I played for Everton, Kayserispor in Turkey, and Burnley, and I retired in November of 2012.
2022.
Oh, yeah, 2022. I was trying to make
what is wrong, Leo?
I 100% know who it is. I 100% know who it is.
Yeah, it's not hard. You got this. HazSpur, say it.
1 hour Lennon. There's 1 hour Lennon.
Yeah.
He played for Everton.
There we go. Kyle's a good one with the trivia. I actually need to start calling him on Wednesdays so that he could help me out with this segment. Because he, like he said last weekend, he's the best at bank. I forget his exact words, but he said bank average mid 2000 players.
You didn't like Aaron Lennon? I loved Aaron Lennon.
No, he did. He was talking about right wing back, so that's why he said that.
Oh,
but
right, okay.
yeah, I'm pretty sure he liked Aaron Lennon. Who didn't like Aaron Lennon, bro? If you don't like Aaron Lennon, man, what the heck?
Yeah, good little player.
Well, that was a good little 2 rounds of the game just to get our blood flowing while we dive into some of this bullshit. Guys, how we doing? All right, so
that was fun. I like that actually. That was fun.
Yeah, it was just like one of those quick little games to get the, like I said, to get the blood flowing. Real quick, I just want to shout out to the people down at the bottom for always joining us and being part of the show. I'm gonna have to now add HazSpurTV to this list of people here, and Elly. I'm also gonna have to put Queen Elly Spurs Ladies channel because technically you are here by means of them. You know, this is a Tottenham, this is a THFC till I die type episode, but I also forget that you have your own channel now that is not THFC till I die. You started your own channel, so I'm gonna have to add that to it.
Yeah, Queen Elly's Spurs Ladies channel, yeah. But it's still with THFC till I die,
right?
Undertones, but it's my own channel. I've got the whole creativity part of it now. So
nice.
Yeah, I've done one episode, and I've done another one, but I'm waiting for Dermot to edit it for me. Put all my
Is it pre-recorded? Like that. Are you not doing anything live?
Yeah, I am going to do some lives, but you know, when I first started, I just done a couple of pre-records just to get it out of my system, because sometimes you can get nervous doing a live. But I'm going to do some live, obviously. Yeah, and I've got to get more technical on the technical side, so I'm learning. So Dermot's teaching me as well a few tips as well. So yeah, I'll get there. Don't worry.
Yeah. Well, I did link the THFC till I die, and I think I actually linked your channel as well, Elly, in the description. Yeah. So anybody that hasn't, for some odd reason, get over to Elly's channel and smash a like, and for sure head over to HazSpur and give this fine man a like and a follow too, a sub, I guess it is. Yeah. So we're going to go on with the first topic of this game, of this episode. West Ham versus Tottenham. Parker, it was a really good game, dude. It was kind of lethargic to begin with. You know, I kind of thought we were going to go through the same freaking movements. Just, you know, damn, are we just going to get scored on and then have to fight back? But, you know, Emerson Royale, bro, he scored a goal, and then that opened the door for Sonny to come on and Sonny to score a goal. What were your reactions, you know, after we left the pub and after the game was over?
You know, I really think that Royale is here to stay. You know, he didn't just put in an okay performance compared to his like previous performances. You know, it wasn't just like, okay, he didn't do any like mistakes, so good for him. No, he was really doing well. Like, he put in some great tackles. He didn't cross the ball very much, which is like, I think that helps him a lot. Just don't cross it, and you're good. Just give it to Kulu. But I think he really, really stood out. Because I heard a lot of people saying, oh, Royale, like, you know, he just didn't make any mistakes. So compared to what he did earlier, it looks good, but it's not really that good. No, I think he really stood out. I think he put it all out on the line. And I think defensively, he's so solid recently. And I think that's really important considering what we're missing right now. You know, we're missing a goalkeeper, our number one goalkeeper. We're missing a couple of our midfielders. So it is really important that he's stepping up right now, especially defensively, and he's not going forward and crossing the ball like he used to, because I think he's realized this is not my strong suit, crossing the ball. So instead, just give it to Kulusevski and he can cross it. We all know he can cross the ball. So I think he's learning how to play with Tottenham. I think he's learning how to play with us finally. Instead of crossing the ball, you know, he's just giving it off and then coming back on defense, and that's really all we need him to do right now. So but other than that, I think we played a really, really poor team of West Ham. It was just they had one shot, I think, right? So
one thing that one thing that I seen this weekend was when we signed Jack Clark, the youngster that is now at Sunderland, we had the chance to go for him or Bowen. Bowen, the guy that's at West Ham,
Jared.
and Bowen, Bowen is he's not like dropping dimes every week, but he's consistently doing something for West Ham. So when I seen the two comparisons and all the two trajectories of careers that they're both having, I was like, damn, one of them is relevant in the Premier League, and one of them is, now starting to find his place in a Championship League side.
Yeah, I mean, they got really far into Europe last year, and that's just so shocking to me to see how bad they've done this year. And I think it's both. Offensively, defensively, Jared Bowen is really the only person that's like, doing anything attack wise. He was the only person that put a shot on goal against us. So they're just I don't know what happened, but they just completely fell off from last year.
Mm-hmm. So you guys know the song, right? He can't defend, he can't attack. Emerson Royal, he's our wingback. Well, we seen that at the pub, and then out of nowhere, Keith, one of the members of Colorado Spurs, just shouts out, he's learning to defend, he's learning to attack. Emerson Royal, he's our wingback. So that's why I put there, because I mean, it seems to be that like he's learning. Elly, what do you think of Emerson Royal's display at the weekend against West Ham?
You know what? His defensive work has never been questioned, I don't think, because it was just his offensive work that wasn't up to scratch. But now what he's doing, he's getting a free role. He wasn't just on the wing, he was joining the midfield. And when he scored, he was in the middle of the park. And he was running forward because he's got an engine. He's a fit lad. And he can recover. Look at the fantastic tackles he's been putting in. And he's timing them well, and he's not even getting a booking, right? So I think Romero could take a leaf out of his book, learn from Emerson, because he's found the Brazilian boy within himself, hasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
He's really, really shining, and not just a little bit. He's improved 100%, and he, like you said, he does give the ball to Kulu to cross. That's the best thing to do, because he's crossing. Is not up to scratch, but he knows that himself. He doesn't have to be told that. I think he's been marvelous, brilliant.
Yeah. Did you notice when he scored the goal? Did you notice the emotion that went through the rest of the players' faces and how they ran up to him? And Cuti Romero just freaking kicked him in the ass, and like it's just like the way they showed the love to him, you know what I mean? Like you could tell that the goal meant a lot, not just for Emerson Royal, but for like the whole team.
Even
what is
the
your opinion
fans. The fans were going crazy for him. Like everyone wants him to do well. We don't want him to fail, right? So
anybody at our club, Parker, we want anybody at our club to do good, But
I know, but there's some people that are a little, aggressive towards Royale, and it's like, come on, like he's doing well. Give him some credit, It's like most people are like, oh well, it's just a matter of time until he messes up again. And I'm like, well, let's not hope for that, right? Let's not even like put that into the universe. That's just let him do well and just keep going from there. But anyway, HazSpur, go ahead.
With Emerson, I've done a complete 180 on him within like 2 weeks. So if you spoke to me a month ago, I would have been like, sell him. But the past like 3-4 games, he's probably been our best player. Since Porras come in, it's like he's given a kick up the arse to suddenly play really, really well. It's not a coincidence. I don't think it's a coincidence that as soon as Porras has been signed, he started playing better. And I think it's not just his obviously his goal was brilliant. I thought that was actually a really good finish, but his intensity's
it was a good finish.
Yeah. His intensity's gone up by like another 10-20%, I think. And I think he knows he can't cross it that well, so he's giving it to Kulu. But I do think his crossing obviously can improve, and I think there's he can get even better. And obviously we joked about the Cafu thing, but I mean, now you never know, I guess. But I think with Emerson, if you look at him on paper, as a player, he's fast. He's got an engine on him, like Elly says, but he's also tall and strong. So he's got every physical attribute to actually be a really good player. I think he just needs to just keep the way he's going and just keep using his head about how he's playing with the ball.
Yeah, because he's still playing.
Sorry, with his goal, I think that's what Conte. I know, obviously, in regards to Conte, because obviously he's recovering, but in the sense that with the Davies link up is what at Chelsea we used to see with Alonso and Moses, in the sense they would link up, the wing backs would link up, and obviously it was the two most surprising wing backs to link up for the goal, but Emerson was one of them. So yeah, Emerson was one of them, and I thought, like I said, he's been faultless the past 3 games, I think.
Alejandro Perez says, even after his decent performance, there was that one tweet saying that the finish for the goal was horrific. Yeah, Twitter is just like that, right? Twitter is just a place that, like, if you don't have thick skin, you shouldn't be around. I'll be the first one to say that was an excellent striker's finish. Caressed it.
Yeah, it was
they like to say passed it into the back of the sack. Like he literally.
Yeah,
and he took it on the run. I want to say it was the first time hit. It could have been a one touch. That's hard to do.
But a month ago, he would have just completely skied it over the goal, and it would have went into the the upper deck or something like that. So the fact that he kept it on the ground and just put it right in the corner, I was like,
yeah, for sure. We all were.
You would have put it in Rosette.
I think with Emerson, he wants to stay at Spurs. I don't know if you saw the reports during January. They kept saying he's happy at Tottenham. He wants to stay. And I think because we signed Porro, and he knows Porro is most likely going to be the starter, in a sense, obviously on paper, I think now he knows if he wants to stay, he has to perform. And it's kind of like just triggered him, I guess. I don't know if in some sense. But it's just triggered him to play better. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. I was going to ask, Elly, what is your take on that? Let's just say that you're in Emerson's position and, they just hire the next best thing at your position. Now you're basically fighting for every ball. Now you're fighting for every minute that you're going to get. Are you, some people could take that and run with it and use that as motivation. Others fold and just give that position up. What is your opinion? Like, how would you... If you had to sum up, Emerson's behavior, professionalism throughout this whole, and yeah, we might be over exaggerating. This is just like a few good performances, but it's off the back of signing a replacement for you. What is your thoughts? Like, how are you approaching preparations? How are you approaching game?
Yeah, I think, he's felt the heat of Porro, hasn't he? But do you know what? I think we can play all 3 of them. I can think we can play Porro in Kulu's position and put Kulu as a cam, because Kulu's got the strength and the skill to become a cam. So I think we can have them all 3 in the team. But coming back to Emerson, I think it's not just that. I think he's got his own self-pride and he's been working on his game. And I'm sure Ledley's been working on him as well, because his defensive work is excellent. And going forward, I've noticed that he's keeping it very simple, but he's passing lots of 1-2s, 1-2 and moving into space, which is nice for him because he doesn't have to overcomplicate his game. Because before he was losing the ball quite often when he was bringing it out. Now he's not losing it at all when he's bringing it out. He's keeping it more simple, and they've worked on that aspect of his game, which I'm really glad, because I think he deserves a lot of plaudits, and it's not just a few of this season that he's been playing well. He played some really good games last season, but he never got credit for it because of all the little mistakes he was making. But now he's cut out all the mistakes and he's putting it right, which I'm really happy for him, because he's a nice lad. He's always got a smile on his face, and he's keeping his head up and making sure that he gets the fans on their side. And I think he's won most of the fans over now, I
think so. I have a question, Elly. Do you think that Royale's performances have kind of improved since Conte has left, from the touchline? Because I think he played pretty good against Fulham, I think, before Manchester City. But then when we played against Manchester City, that was like the real game that we're like, oh my goodness, look at Royale. And Conte was not there, right? And so what do you think about that? Do you think it's Conte that's away?
It could be, because, I think Conte likes him, though. I think Conte likes him.
Yeah.
because otherwise he wouldn't play him. And like he's kept him over Doherty, and everybody was thinking Doherty was going to be the one that's going to be kept, but we cancelled his contract and kept Emerson. So they see something there, and he's a hard-working player in trainings. I hear that he's very infectious. You know, he's always keeping people smiling. You know, and he's got that right attitude to become a top footballer. Because at the end of the day, he's got his football career has been slated, so he's got to put that right, and he's putting it right. He's working so hard to, you know, get all those little mistakes out of his game eliminated. And against Manchester City, you're playing the best team arguably in the world when you play.
He's not being timid either. It's not like he's holding back and like not making the tackles because he's scared. He's still putting all that, you know, he's making the risks as well, and he's making it work. So that's impressive.
He's timing his tackles really well, you know, and he's winning the ball, or he's getting you know, like giving away a corner, but he's stopping a free flowing attack. Because Man City, when they hit a niche, if you let them dominate and they get their crosses in, they're going to punish you with Haaland.
Yeah,
so
he's not overthinking it.
Against Manchester City as well. Yeah, I was very impressed with him against West Ham as well, especially because I was watching him and he was moving into the middle quite often, and that's a direct instruction from the Tottenham coaches, you know, so that so he's not predictable. You can't just be on the wing all the time. You've got to come inside sometimes, and he took his goal brilliantly. I love him. I think he's the most improved player that I've ever seen at Spurs in such a short time as well. So he's obviously worked on himself, hasn't he?
Real quick, I just wanted to say, Shane, I started your question. I'll bring it up a little bit later on once we move on from this subject. Same with SOF's comment that he posted. I'll start them and come back to them. I did want to just bring this up, Hasper. You know, we all remember coming up before the season started. Emerson was in Brazil and had some shit happen to him where, you know, there was shots fired and like he almost, you know, he almost got robbed, or he did, whatever the case is. And, you know, I'm pretty sure that, again, there's a lot of stuff that's been going on with Emerson. And the fact that like he, you know, I think he announced this past week too that him and his girlfriend or wife or whatever are expecting a baby. He also did the celebration. A lot of it probably just has to do with, you know, you get to a point, do you agree? You just come to a point where like you just mature, you start paying more attention. The shit that you were doing before, you just kind of cut it loose. You know, you have shit to work for. You start to realize that your spot might be taken up for you know, by somebody else. You know, do you think that, you know, like just stuff that happens, and then he also gets a lot of hate with his compilations that he makes, like, do you think any of this stuff like just you know, it just all accumulates and he's just like, you know, because he's never wanted to, you touched it, bro. He never wanted to leave Spurs, right?
Yeah.
For some odd reason, Antonio Conte has been playing him week in, week out when we've had other options to play there. You know what I mean? But Elly touched on this too. They see different shit in practice that we don't see. You know, like, has Emerson Royale turned a page, or is it too early to say that?
I think the most important thing, obviously, he had the stuff before the start of the season with the robbery or the shots or whatever it was. But I think it was quite recently with him becoming a dad. I think it is kind of like a factor because if you look at someone like Harry Kane, for example, who's more like a family man who's had kids for like a while, his work ethic is always really good. And Emerson doesn't come across to me as like a party boy or anyone like that anyway.
Right.
But I do think that it kind of, I guess, having a kid gives you something else to like fight for, I guess, or some other meaning. So maybe he thinks now I have to perform like double as much because he's not just earning money for him and his white wife. I guess he has to raise a kid as well. So I do think it is like a small factor as well. But whether he's turned the page or not, I think we'll probably see on Sunday. Because I think for me, it's like, I'm full support with Emerson. Like I said, I've done a 180 on him. Now I'm like, this guy's really good. But you kind of see it over like 10 games. So let's say by the end of the season, if he's carrying on like this, we might not even need to buy a right wing back in the summer because he might already be where we want him to be. So, yeah, fingers crossed.
You can't drop him right now, can you?
Yeah.
I mean,
Emerson has to start every game. He has to start every game the way it's going. So,
Yeah.
If the season ends in 10 weeks or however many it is, how we were just saying, let's see a 10 games run of 10 games. If Emerson Royale's game stays where it's at, picked up a lot, is Pedro Porro a good signing? You know, the fact that we signed Pedro Porro and then this shit happens, you know what I mean? Even though he rides the bench, like, does that justify it? Does that justify it or no?
No, it does. Because I do think the Porro thing is a factor because I think the reports of him wanting to stay at Spurs, whilst they were like evaluating whether to sell him or Doherty, are like correct. I do think that's a thing because if you read stuff from Alistair Gold and other journalists, Spurs always may have like a list of players they want to sell like for sure, and they have like a list where it's like a maybe, and he probably fell in like the maybe pile, and maybe he's trying to move from the maybe to we need to keep this guy, if that makes sense. He's kind of like stuck in the middle.
Yeah.
So I do think. And the Doherty thing, I think, is quite a factor as well, because maybe he got more encouragement that Doherty was obviously got rid of. And
we haven't lost in 3 games with Emerson Royale starting. The last 3 games, I think. It's
by the same consensus, I slate Son, right? Because playing badly, you have to praise players when they play well. And Emerson's been our best player the past 3 games. So you have to play the player on form, and Emerson has to play. He has to play on Sunday.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That brings up one of these starred comments here that I'm going to show right now. Parker, do we think that Sonny and Ivan Perisic playing in the same channels and spaces? Do you think that they finally are going to work it out?
No, they've got they've had enough chances to work it out, and it's just not working between them two. So, something's got to change. I want to see a different lineup up there, on the left. So Richarlison up there, maybe with Sessegnon, and just keep trying different things. But that's not really what Conte likes to do. So I don't know. I mean, I just think it's not working out between Perisic and Sonny. It's just they've had too many chances, too many games together, and it just hasn't worked out. So I don't think it's gonna just randomly work out. Like all of a sudden it's gonna click. They've had enough chances, and it's just not working out. So.
Yeah.
Elly, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with Parker. It just imbalances the team, when they're both playing together because they're both on the left, and Perisic gets more of the ball as well than Sonny now, whereas before you see where Harry Kane found Sonny for that goal against West Ham. That's the old partnership kicked in, I think Perisic should be used as like a super sub because he can be effective in half an hour. Just bring him on as a super sub. And Davies done very, very well at that left back position. He was up and down, getting back, and Long lay behind him. That was double strength because you've got 2 brilliant, really, really good defenders. Not brilliant, but really good defenders who know how to defend. They're seasoned professionals. And Davies, he excelled in that left wing back position. So they can't drop him for the next match. It'd be cruel to drop him. Even though I don't really particularly like Davies, right, because he's always like a mare, but he played really well against West Ham and he supported the front two really well as well. So you can't really drop him because it's sending out the wrong message then. Yeah, I think Davies deserves to keep his place as well. And Sonny, I don't know whether to start with Richarlison or start with Sonny. Because now he's scored, it's going to be hard. But I think Richie should start again.
I agree.
Leave Sonny on the bench.
Yeah, it's working out like that.
Yeah, I think Richie deserves another start.
Why change something that's like working out?
Yeah, and plus against Chelsea, you need a bit of shithousery to wind them up. And I think Richie will give that to them. He'll suck it to them, I'm telling you.
And Chelsea are...
Yeah, he's a right good one for the shithousery, isn't he?
And I think Chelsea also are pretty pretty solid overall defensively. So if we can put Sonny on in like 60 or 70 minute when they're a little bit tired, that could help us a lot with his speed and his the way he just runs at defenders. And he has a good record against Chelsea. I mean, we all remember that one goal he had on from the right hand side where he just completely just took on the entire Chelsea defense.
Yeah, that was at Wembley, wasn't it? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And they've had the big loss in Azpilicueta as well, because he's been a mainstay in their defence, and they've lost him to injury, unfortunately for them. He got concussed. So that's a good bonus for us, though, because he's a very, very good defender.
I think Koulibaly is also out.
Yeah, Koulibaly's
they have
out
like
as
35
well.
players on their books, don't they, Chelsea?
Yeah, they're not worried about injuries. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point, Haz. Scott M would start Royale for him.
They lost, didn't they? Yeah. No, they've been playing well, Chelsea, but they haven't been scoring the goals, right? But
the issue is up front.
Really good.
Close they've gotten.
And they're not playing Aubameyang. I don't know. He falls out of favour in a lot of clubs, that Aubameyang. There must be something wrong with him in terms of his psyche. Maybe he winds up managers, or he comes to
I think because Potter didn't really want him. He came when Tuchel towards the end of Tuchel's reign, and he didn't even. I felt bad for Aubameyang because he was there for like a week, and then Tuchel got fired or sacked, and he just like, oh my gosh, this is who brought me in, and then now he's not even considered as a starter. Or even I don't even know if he's on their substitutions. I don't even think he's on their subs now. So
no, he's been dropped completely.
Yeah, but I mean, and they lost Jorginho, a huge midfielder player for them. They don't have Conte. I think he might be coming back pretty soon.
Yeah,
not Antonio Conte. I'm talking about
Conte.
Conte. Yeah. So he'll be back soon, but I don't think he's going to be fit for the game. I don't know. I don't think he'll be starting. So they've just, and think about like the job that Potter's had to do. With I think they got like 14 new players or something, and like a new owner, new like everything behind closed doors. So it's like it was always going to be really difficult for them to like be able to do this. So I don't know. And then you also look at Nottingham Forest. They got 23 players, and they're actually on good form right now. So who knows?
So Ref brings up this good comment. He says Udogie looks like likes to cut inside and take shots. I see similar issues next season with Sonny. I hope not, but that's a fair statement right there. If he does the same thing, he's going to be taking shots and space away from Sonny. But
hopefully,
let's just hope that if he does, he capitalizes on them.
I want Sonny to kind of like come back a little bit, and Udogie to go up front, and then just pull it back to Sonny. Right outside the box or something, and then he can take a shot or something.
Am I crazy, or why couldn't we do Kulusevski on the left and Sonny on the right? I mean, I know that Kulu likes to cut in and bend it in, but that's like you're almost like limited to just that move, right? It's like people know. It's like Arjen Robben. I've said this plenty of times. We all knew what Arjen Robben was going to do. It's just how the fuck do you stop him from doing what he was going to do, right?
Because he was similar to him. That's true.
Yeah, that his move is like he's going to cut back in, either cross it in or or shoot it. And when he makes those goals, they look fucking amazing, right? They curled in, like good efforts, and when he crosses in, they're really good. But why wouldn't you capitalize and have him on the left side banging them in with his left foot, crossing them in, and then have Sonny, who's obviously ambidextrous, on the right side, and then you don't have to worry about all these people getting into people's zones.
Because I think the three at the top are meant to, the two on the left and right meant to sort of play as inside forwards, and the wing backs are meant to provide the width. That's probably why. So that's why I don't think he'll switch them around ever. That's what I don't think. But I see what you're saying. If we're talking back in the 2000s, that's probably what's going to happen. What people would have wanted.
It's too much of a risk. They're out of position. It's just.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it makes sense. But if we're not, for example, if a few weeks ago when we didn't have well, let's just be real. We don't have Emerson Royale making crosses in, so I could counter that argument with Kulusevski's then the one having to bomb those crosses in, right? And so therefore, I would want a right-sided player.
You're just limiting them to just crossing. If you put them on the Kulu on the right and Son on the left, they can shoot and cross. They can do both. And I think that's better.
To be fair, I think that Kulusevski does have a right foot. I just don't think he's got the confidence in himself to use his right foot. You know what I mean?
You should see my dad shouting at Davies not using his right foot. It's quite amazing to watch. You talk about left and right for here, so I thought we'd bring it up.
That's fair. That's fair.
Højbjerg's assist over the weekend was just absolutely gorgeous, wasn't it?
When did Højbjerg? I thought that was Lingwei. I thought Lingwei.
Well, no, it wasn't an assist. It was an assist to the assist. Sorry, it was
okay.
Passed it to Davies.
Yeah. I have my own thoughts on some though, but
it was. I mean, how can you even see that? Like, you have to have like
Højbjerg put the pass, and then Davies.
That intelligence.
I thought it was Lingwei. I thought it was Lingwei. That was a good ball from Højbjerg. I could have swore I thought it was Lingwei.
No, it was Højbjerg.
Yeah, it was Ellys. Højbjerg.
Yeah,
it was such a good pass. Oh my gosh!
If Elly says it, I'll believe it. Yeah.
Well. He's done some very good balls in that game. You know, he's got the best stats for passing on long range passing. He's the most accurate. Yeah,
he has so many passes. I think he's like
even more accurate than Kane. Yeah, so there you go.
He's like third in the whole league in passes, total passes.
I know because he's under what they call they don't give him a lot of credit, but when
under
he comes
the radar,
up with a pass like that,
yeah,
underrated, right? But he's been playing really well. All right, he's had a couple of stinkers, but he's still played brilliant against West Ham. He's played brilliant, and Leicester he had a bad game. You must admit he had a bad game, but the whole team had a bad game there. I think Højbjerg's a bit of an unsung hero, but in my book, he's my hero.
I think we can rely on him. I think he's pretty consistent. You know, I mean, like you said, he's had a couple bad stinkers, but other than that, he's week in, week out. He's been someone we can rely on defensively, also as well as making those passes.
He keeps it simple most of the time. You know, when he does that cutting pass. That's the one that's going to get him the plaudits. But the simple stuff he does is important as well.
Yeah.
What are you
I fucking love that. I just love this guy. He's fucking. I like. In the back of my head, I'm just thinking of like this stream from last week or something like that.
But that's not even. I would even call that Højbjerg. I think Højbjerg has done so much more than just back pass, side pass. I mean, he's had so many assists. He's bailed us out of the Champions League, so many games and stuff.
He does forward passes more. He does forward passes more than back passes and side passes.
Yeah, no,
much more.
Him and Ben Scott being our most consistent players, Elly. I'd say this season.
Yeah, definitely.
Hold on, I just want to say this too.
That way.
I just want to say this too.
No, get out of here, Scott. Get out of here.
No,
I don't think Scott rates anyone, so he doesn't rate anyone. Apart from Scott doesn't rate anyone. That's what I've come to the conclusion.
One day he puts in the comments. Sorry for saying this again, Scott. I mean, but you put it was a comment that you put. He put everybody was good, including Shitberg. I'll just start fucking laughing.
That's not funny.
It's funny, bro.
No, it's not.
It's fucking funny.
Not at all. I don't find it funny at all. But
it's fucking hilarious.
Because he's not Shitberg.
Oh, so clever. He said Shitberg. That's so clever. Oh my god.
Yeah, look what he's done for our team this year.
Get the fuck out of here, dude. No, I'm not gonna talk about our players like that. Especially a player like Højbjerg that's come through consistently. Especially with our shit players that we've had defensively.
He hates that much.
He's not just consistent. He keeps up. He plays well for most of our matches. I'm
starting to think that Scott is just trying to rev us up a little bit. I don't think he's
more than Dyer. I don't understand.
Yeah, I think he's just making this up. I think he's just trying to piss us off a little bit.
It's funny stuff.
I don't think he's serious.
I'm a big supporter of Hyde.
Okay, Scott, I think you got me. You got me, Scott.
If I ever see Scott, I'll tickle him.
I thought you were going to slap him or something.
I'll tickle you.
No,
he's fucking with us. He's definitely fucking with us. Come on.
Oh, that's funny. That was worth a good laugh, bro. That was worth a good laugh.
Thank you, Scott.
Again, I have some people, some names just scrolling across the bottom of channels that everybody should check out, and of course Scott M is one of the first people on there because he's the homie, and I loved it. I just love all his fucking comments, and so big up to you guys. A shout out some of the Spurs
you knew it right away. You were just laughing from the beginning, and I'm just like,
oh, bro, it's just because it's just it's just funny. But look, guys, real quick. I just want to remind everybody that you guys are tuned into Denver's very own Tottenham Hotspur podcast, Mile High Hotspur with Leo COYS and Parker COYS. Thank you for tuning in. Please, you guys, if you haven't already, like this video, subscribe to our channel, share our stuff with people. We definitely would appreciate it. Parker and I are trying to grow our channel, so we encourage you to share, like and subscribe, and let everybody know that they could tune in and watch this excellent show. Where we have guests like these here and people in the comments that make you crack up, like Scott M. And everybody else. And you guys can also follow us on Instagram, Mile High Hotspur. We are on Twitter at Mile High Hotspur. And if Patreon is your thing and you would love to become a supporter of our channel, go ahead and follow us at Patreon /Mile High Hotspur. There's 3 tiers. And if the only way you can support our channel is by subscribing and liking, do it up. We definitely encourage you to do that. And we appreciate any type of love that we could get.
Smash the like.
For sure. Let's see here. I'm gonna catch up with some of these comments. I think he's trolling a bit. Pierre Horberg could be upgraded, in my opinion. Let's see here.
Wow.
Scott M says 100% serious, but I still love Elly.
I don't see how. I don't know.
Bro, it's because everybody has their own perception of the game.
Oh, Hoybier is so solid.
I come as a package. You have to love me and love Hoybier.
Surely we have worse players than Hoiberg.
Yeah, we definitely do. Elly, it's kind of hard to hear you, though. Elly, it sounds like your microphone's like behind you or something.
Yeah.
It sounds, Elly, you're like very far away, it sounds like. Is it just me?
I sound like I'm far away. Yeah, I am. I'm far away in England.
No, you sound good.
Yeah, you sounded good. There you did sound good. But earlier it sounds like it's like echoing, like it's like the microphone's like behind you or something. But
no, I haven't even got a mic. I've just left it like normal. Maybe if I get my earphones, it might improve.
No, you sound good right now.
You're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so are we going to win against Chelsea? How damaging was that loss against Southampton?
I know.
At home.
That was one for the books, wasn't it? They've beaten them a couple of times at Stamford Bridge as well. I remember they beat them 3-2 once as well.
They beat them earlier this year.
Season. Yeah, they beat them at home, so they did the double over there.
They did the double. If only we could do a single against them.
Leo knows because he's watching my show earlier, but Chelsea fans are really against Potter. Like, it's a big thing. They're very Potter out. And I think if we beat them, I think he'll probably lose his job.
My brother is really pro Potter, and he's a Chelsea fan. I kept asking him. But what's that, Elly?
I think he will lose his job if we beat them.
Yeah.
I think he's going to get sacked in the morning. They're going to be singing it.
Yeah, you're getting sacked in the morning.
Is he the problem? Is he the problem? I mean, yeah, they have on paper they have some of the best players in Europe. So
I just want to say good night to Bobby K first.
Good night, Bobby K. Good night, mate.
Good night, Bobby K.
Sweet dreams.
Good night, mate.
You think he falls asleep and wakes up in the middle of the night driving his bus oh shit, it was all a dream. It was all a dream.
I remember when he joined
Big up, Bobby.
But I think with Chelsea, it's like from the outside looking at it with Potter, I don't know. I think Potter is completely out of his. I'll probably get clipped, and I'm probably gonna get clipped for this. But I think Potter's completely out of his depth, and I think he didn't take the step before Chelsea in a sense. You remember, like with Lampard, he went from Derby to Chelsea. It was too much of a big step. He's gone from Brighton to Chelsea, and I think he went to a club in between for like a season or two, and did well, and then went to Chelsea. I think he'd be in a better position, but I don't think he managed all these egos.
No, but look at Pochettino. I mean, he went from like Southampton to us, and it took him. I mean, it did take him a couple years, to like figure it out. But I think I don't know. I don't know if he's the problem.
Love you, buddy. Get some good sleep.
Like with Chelsea, they have so many massive egos and so many expensive players.
Yeah.
Spurs, imagine Spurs. Like possibly be good at time like Tottenham because most of the players don't have big egos, and I think he'd do all right. But
do you think he's going to burn his name? Do you think he'll burn his name in a sense that after, when he is sacked from Chelsea, because it's inevitable, it's going to happen eventually, whether if it's, this weekend, in a year or two, whatever. Do you think that's like the biggest his job's going to get?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, after that, he won't even really go back to somewhere. I don't know. I'm trying to think in a top 10 club, maybe top 10 club, but maybe not a top 4 club.
Well, we do have a fucking
Leeds United.
Yeah, he
think
might
he'll
go to.
be
Do they
better
need a
at
manager,
United.
Elly? Do they still not got a manager?
Southampton
They just hired Javi Garcia, but I mean that's probably going to be just a band-aid over the wound for now. They're probably going to look to bring somebody in. I could be wrong though.
Yeah.
Scott M says he's worried about this game. Chelsea seem to have our number. I agree with you there. Fans getting excited about the team, which means we'll lose. And then he also follows it up with, I think Potter has to the end of the season, maybe beyond. This isn't Roman running the club anymore. Elly, what do you think about that? Do you think that's, that comment holds some weight? Like, do you think, because he says that, he might give some time. I think I seen another comment in there saying that, they'll give him some time. Or do you think Bowley's just going to be trigger happy?
No, that's the general consensus. And Ted Bowley he seems to be like being loyal to him because he would have given him the boot much earlier otherwise. But I think if they lose to us and they go out the Champions League, especially, I think that's going to be his days numbered. Because if they don't do well in the Champions League and they're lagging to make a Champions League spot as well in the league, so they're not guaranteed to do that either. So, and that's the bread and butter for most clubs where you make most of your money, So I think his days are numbered. It's not our game. I don't think our game. I think if he goes out of the Champions League to Dortmund, I think that's the one that's going to get him the chop. Yeah.
2-0 down? Are they 2-0 down in that? 1-0? Okay.
1-0.
1-0 down, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's 1-0 down, yeah. So they've got a big chance of going out of that one because Dortmund are a very decent side. And they've been.
Who's the player that scored that day? It was really fast. What was his name?
For Dortmund?
Yeah.
I didn't even watch the game, honestly. SOF says Chelsea have to pay $60 million if they sack Potter. He's on a 5 years at $12 million, I think. Damn, so they're gonna have to really take it on the chin if they fire him.
Yeah, they'll probably give him more chances.
Yeah, they won't worry about that.
And when a manager does well at like a lower club, that really shows how good of a manager they really are. I think. They don't have the resources to buy all those good players and stuff. And it's just shocking to me, like when a manager can do wonders with a club with mediocre players and then go to a big club with all the resources in the world, all the money they can spend. And sometimes it just doesn't work out. And I think it's just like they're
still paying Tuchel too. Crazy.
And do you know the irony of it all? The irony of it all is that Brighton are higher up in the league than Chelsea, and they're playing better football, much better football. Yeah, they were
It's to
like
do with the
lucky
egos,
to
I
Fulham
think.
as
Like, I
well.
just don't think some of these managers from lower
Yeah.
teams can manage like players with big egos, and there's a lot of them at Chelsea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't think it's to
Yeah,
do with the
that's true.
quality. I just think it's just to do with just.
They really don't look. They don't look happy there. I think like almost
They
no
haven't gelled
players.
as a team yet because they're all strangers to one another. The core of the team is still there, but the new ones that have come in, they need time to gel. Remember when Pochettino had a lot of new players came in, but he gelled them very quickly because he's a very good coach. I'm not saying Potter's not a good coach, but he's got so many more new players. I mean,
Yeah.
say about more than half the team are all new to one another. So it's going to take him time. If they give him the time, that's the big question.
But I don't think Poch changed that much of the first team when he came. We did get rid of 12 players, I remember that window, but Trippier came in as a backup. Obviously, Alvaro came in to slot into the back four, which was already Rose, Walker, and Vertonghen, so it wasn't really like a massive change. And then obviously he moved Dier to midfield with Dembele, who was already there, and Dele came back from that loan, and Eriksen was already in the team with and Son sort of came, but we had Chadley, I think, and then we had Kane, so it wasn't like a huge change, I don't think. Yeah.
No, but what I was saying, he gelled them very quickly, didn't he, Pochettino? He gelled them as a team, whereas Chelsea are playing as individuals, not as a team.
They're all strangers.
Yeah. And that's how it was with Nottingham, I think, too, in the beginning of the season. And I think they're starting to finally like have some sort of rhythm together, Nottingham.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to stay in the Premier League and have another chance next season. But there's definitely an echo, but it's not me. I have my headphones in, and I can hear myself, actually. So I don't know who has the echo, but I think it's Elly.
Not that bad. We'll make it.
Yeah, blame the woman.
Well, you're the only one without headphones. That's why I said that.
He's going to say Steve Cooper is a very, very good coach. Yeah. He's got good credentials everywhere he's gone. When he was at Swansea, they played some brilliant football. You know, he's a very, very good coach. He gets average players to play above their station, which is always a sign of a good coach. Yeah, but he's got some good players coming at Nottingham Forest.
Exactly. Yeah, they have really good players now.
So I brought this up because I was going to switch over to something. I'm actually going to share something with you guys here. Just 1 second, if I can remember how to do this. Okay, this should be popping up. Let me get rid of some of this shit here. Let me go back. Yeah, so let me get rid of the thing here so we can see Hasper. So I put bye-bye Basuma. It's looking like the 85. And this is according to Give Me Sport article that was published by Danny Rust. Says the Tottenham 85K a year or a week player is will now struggle to get a good look in at Hotspur Way. I'm sorry. This is actually the wrong one. That's why we don't do this often. Here it is. Conte unsure whether the 25 million Spurs star will play again this season. This is according to Jordan Harris of the Boot Room. Tottenham Hotspur have been dealt a further injury blow, with the Evening Standard reporting that Antonio Conte is unsure whether Yves Bissouma will be available again this season. Let's see. We're also out. Bentancur, the 26-year-old, has only made 8 starts. Some may have initially felt that his chance may be about to arrive, with Bentancur sustaining the injury. Basically, guys, I think we're going to be out of luck for seeing Bissouma. What do you guys think about that? Bissouma getting a surgery done on his foot as well, and now, something that didn't look that big, of course, for some fucking reason, he ends up laying down on the physio bed at Tottenham Hotspur Way, and they're like, oh yeah, let's chalk up another 2 more months. You know what I mean? Why is this always happen to our players? They go in on something minor, and it ends up being we might not see him for the rest of the season now. What do you think about that?
Honestly, our medical team, I don't know what's wrong with them, but my diagnosis on it is that when they do the first scan of the player, who is the doctor making these scans? Who's the doctor analyzing the first scan? Because
Fucking
like you
Dr.
said,
Tottenham.
but like you said, the first scan's always like, oh, he'll be out for like 2-3 weeks, and then we hear like a week or two later, oh no, it's gonna be like through 3 months. So it's like, do you remember with the Bentancur injury? Was the Bentancur injury when he came back from the World Cup? Initially, they diagnosed it as something different, and then they diagnosed it again as something completely different. So to me, it's like at the beginning, what happens in the medical team? How do they analyze when the player comes in for an injury? That's the major issue for me. But as for Bissouma himself, I mean, he wasn't playing that much. But with our injury of Bentancur, I think it's going to affect us a lot because just out of numbers, because obviously Skip and Sarah still arguably young.
Playing if he was fit, though, right?
Yeah, I think Bissouma will be playing. So yeah, it's a big blow for us. Bentancur's out till next year, the way I see it. So,
well, whether we get the first diagnosis right or not, he still has the same injury. I don't think it's really on the medical staff whether or not his injury gets worse or worse. I think it's whether it's they're training, what they're doing during training, and I think that's mostly what it's about. I don't think they could diagnose it wrong, and that just gives us a wrong expectation, but that doesn't change the injury.
The reason I say that is because, say, like with Bentancur, they diagnosed it as something else, I think, at the beginning when he came around for the World Cup. And then they did another scan on it, on his foot or something, or whatever it was, leg, and diagnosed it as something else. So let's just assume they diagnosed the first one wrong. They started treating him in that way for that injury, and then they scanned it again, and then they're doing it now. They finally realized the actual problem.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I do think it's a factor, but I don't know. I don't know what's going on with our medical team. It's just
there's something going on over there. I think they're smoking too much of the chronic, bro. If you ask me, or not enough. One of the two, too much or not enough.
I think it has to do with the training sessions, right? Like that's how you get injured. I mean, you only play, 1 or 2 games a week, but then it's like, what are you doing outside the games? What is making you get injured? Why are all of our players getting injured? It's not our medical team that are making our players injured.
I bet you they don't even want to go see. I'm willing to bet that they don't even want to go into those fucking physio rooms. They're just like, oh no, don't touch me. You get away from me. I'll go get a second opinion and come back.
True. But Ben Kaufman had an interesting spin on it. He said it quite a few times as well on his daytime stream that he feels that since Bissouma got COVID, he might be suffering from long COVID. That's what he thought, because he doesn't look the same player, the energy, he hasn't got the same fire in his belly. When he's on the pitch, he's slow and deliberate, right? And he said that he might be suffering from long COVID. He might have something there, because it's just come out of the blue, this injury, hasn't it? And it's just, maybe they want to cover it up.
But it's a foot injury, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what they say. But what I'm saying is that maybe they're using that as an excuse, and really he has got long COVID, because Ben Kaufman was adamant that he had it, so he must know something more than we do. He must, either he's got an inside track in the club, but he says it quite often, so it's not like
you're right. Ben says it a lot.
Yeah.
He says it quite often. Shout out to Ben Kaufman. Yeah. And that is a good point, because one of the things I really don't talk about too much is I had COVID like a long time ago, and like I haven't been the same ever since. My immune system is just shit, and that means like when people have a cold, I catch a cold and it's a little bit worse. We all have the same sickness, but like mine's worse. And I know that doesn't really necessarily just affect your immune system, but let's say if you strain your hamstring or something like that, if you break your bone, I'm pretty sure it also hinders the healing of that injury as well, because your body is still attacking other stuff. And it's true, trust me. Like I hate to admit this, but like I could go inside, I could go home and then I could go inside and like hit the sofa for like 5 minutes, and I'm passed out. Like my fatigue is so like I have no energy whatsoever. I wake up early to go to work, and like midday I'm ready for a nap, dude. Like I even sometimes tell my boss like I'm gonna be in the truck taking a nap for like an hour. Wake me up if you need me, you know what I mean? And I'll go sleep. Like my body just has not been the same since I had COVID, and this was a long time ago. So I could definitely understand, and I could believe something like that lingering. It doesn't affect everybody like that, but it affects some people. You know what I mean? And
I know some
so
of my friends have the same sort of thing that you have, where they're just don't have the same amount of energy, let's say, as before they had
they
COVID.
don't, bro.
Yeah.
I don't have the same energy that I used to, you know what I mean? And I attributed it to like other stuff, you know what I mean? Like I had issues in my life before I started streaming. Like I had other issues in my life that like I've since then, you know, turned around, and like I attributed it to that. But then I'm like, you know, like I'm just dealing with like fatigue issues, you know, a lot of the shit. My fucking hair falls out more. Like when I'm taking a shower, I notice my hair falls out more, and that is also attributed to COVID. Yeah, bro, to COVID.
Did you have the
You know what
vaccine?
I mean? Bro, I don't even want to get into that shit, but. I mean, my family bugged the shit out of me, bro. My mom, my dad, you know, my brothers, bro, my sister-in-laws, and what did it for me was my grandpa. My grandpa's an old fella, bro. Wait, did you see him park at the 4th of July at my brother's house? Yeah, so my grandpa, he's got gray hair, bro, white hair, you know, and I always have been told if a man grows to have a whole head of white hair, it's because he's wise and noble, right? And pay attention to what, and you know, and listen to what they say. And my grandpa was like, he's like, you see everybody here? They're all vaccinated. They're all gonna get sick. It's like, if you're not vaccinated, you're gonna get sick, and it's gonna be worse. My grandpa's like an original cowboy from Mexico, bro. Like the last of a dying breed. Like that dude spends his time like just like lassoing shit, you know, watches westerns and shit like that. And he told me, you know, you need to go get vaccinated, son. And so I did, because my grandpa told me. I got like the first and second, and then after that I was like, I can't believe I did that shit, you know, like. And so I haven't gotten any more, bro, which is why I think I still get sick. No, I got 2, bro. I got one, and then I got the second one, and that was it. I told my family, bug me all you guys want. I went and got this one, and that's it. Leave me the fuck alone.
Too.
I'm not getting anything.
I'm not getting any other.
I'm not.
No way.
And so, but look, I've caught COVID since then, and it's like my body's already messed up. So to go back to what we were talking about, I can agree with what we were talking about. So anyways, we got to play one more game, and then we're going to wrap this show up. No more COVID talk, because apparently it's still real.
You went on a big COVID rant there.
Yeah, right. It's still a thing. So
COVID out.
Yeah, I love this game.
Yeah,
I love it.
Back. In the comments, if anybody has any suggestions, put them up, and we'll try and bring them up too. This is start one, bench one, sell one. You're familiar with the way this game goes?
Yeah,
Elly, you're familiar with the way this game goes?
I watched this the other week, so I know.
Yeah. So basically, we got. Well, it could, depending on, you know, how invested you were with some of these players.
Which players he picks, yeah.
So the first one, Parker, if you want to just read them off for our guests, bro, and then we could chime in, and we'll let the people down in the chat hop into. Go ahead, Parker.
All right, so midfielders for Tottenham Hotspur, Scott Parker. Don't forget he won, I think, Player of the Year. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Ryan Mason or Victor Wanyama, midfielder. We'll start with Elly.
Okay, this one's quite easy for me. So I would start Wanyama because he was an awesome beast in midfield. I'd bench Scott Parker, and I'd sell Ryan Mason. Sorry, Ryan Mason, you weren't up to the other two. The other two are better players, definitely.
Fair enough.
Why would you sell Ryan Mason?
The reason why I would sell Ryan Mason, because technically the other two players gave us more, and they were stronger on the ball. they were just all round better players than Ryan Mason. So especially Victor Wanyama, I loved him. And that goal he scored against Liverpool, what a cracker.
Yeah.
He got injured, he would have been a star midfielder for us. But he got that big injury and then he sort of went backwards. So, yeah, but I love Victor Wanyama, his energy and his ability to get up and down the pitch. And Scott Parker, he was like a beast in midfield. But he was a very good technical player as well. But I would just put Victor Wanyama ahead of him just for his physical attributes in midfield.
And Wanyama had a really good relationship with Pochettino. He used to play, I think, at Southampton too. So like he brought him from Southampton. I think that also helped him a lot to
to fit in.
Yeah, it's always good to have
what about you, Haz?
your manager, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, I'm a bit different. I'm starting Scott Parker and benching Wanyama, and I'm selling Mason.
Okay, fair enough.
My argument is I thought Parker was just a much tidier player. He's a lot more smooth. Also, I kind of have a very big fondness for Harry Redknapp's teams that we had. So Parker with Modric is like a big thing for me. And I love Wanyama, don't get me wrong, but I thought Parker was just a lot more, like smooth. I enjoyed watching him more. And also just I thought his passing was a lot better than Wanyama's, I have to say. Wanyama kind of just gave the ball to Dembele, and Dembele sort of just did his thing. But I thought Parker had a pass in him as well. And Mason, I'm sorry. I actually quite like Mason. Out of all the English midfielders we've had so far from the academy, he's probably one of my favourites. Probably actually my favourite. But I'm sorry I have to sell him because I have to choose to sell one. So,
yeah.
Parker, Parker, out of Ryan Mason and Scott Parker, who do you think is going to have the better career as a manager? I mean, Scott Parker's already been a manager, and he's he's in the Champions League still with Club Brugge, but that doesn't mean that. He's managing Club Brugge now.
Is he? I didn't know that, but he's already proved himself in England. I mean, he won. I think what was it? Like second in the championship last year or 2 years ago. So he's proved himself as a manager, and Ryan Mason hasn't quite done that. I think he took charge of our one game when we sacked Jose Mourinho. That didn't.
Let's just say like in 15 years. In 15 years, who's going to have the better trajectory?
I still think Scott Parker would. I mean, I don't know. I just haven't seen enough of Ryan Mason.
Like Parker. Sorry, Parker. I suppose some Bournemouth fans don't like Parker. Like they really didn't like him.
No. I understand why. I mean, he didn't care about Bournemouth whatsoever either. So I think it's pretty mutual between those between Bournemouth and him. So
they really didn't like him.
How are you going to do this, Parker? What's your bench? What's your start, bench, and sell?
I am going to agree with Elly actually. So Wanyama's starting for me. Scott Parker was good, I think. But I don't know. I think he was a little bit more defensive, based. I mean, he could make a good tackle and stuff, but I think Wanyama was just more deadly, like in aerial duels as well. I don't know. That is a hard one, but I think Wanyama just edges it a little bit.
I'm just glad there was a net to catch that ball, because if not, it would have broken somebody's nose had it hit the stands when he scored that goal.
I mean, the power that guy has. But he's also good in the air, I think. So I don't think Scott Parker was tall enough. I don't think he had that in his game. But I think
this one is for you first, brother. Fernando Llorente, Peter Crouch, or Roman Pavlyuchenko?
Oh my God, this is a hard one. Okay, I'm going starting with Peter Crouch. Because he was a baller in the Champions League for us. and I'm benching Pavlyuchenko and I'm selling Llorente. Because Pavlyuchenko was actually a really good super sub.
He was.
I'm sorry, I just never really liked Llorente that much. I'm sorry.
He came through in the clutch when we needed him to. A lot of people forget that Champions League run, Harry Kane was injured, and who did we had nobody to rely on besides Fernando Llorente.
Man City, baby.
Yeah, so What about you, Elly? How do you feel about this threesome here?
This is a hard one, because no, I'm going to start with Roman Pavlyuchenko because I like Super Pav. Super Pavlyuchenko.
I was stuck
He was
like
really
that
good
already.
in the Champions League as well, right? But Peter Crouch, he was quite a technical player for a big, tall lad like he is. But no, I'll bench Peter Crouch and sell Fernando Llorente. Yeah, because just for the pure fact that Pavlyuchenko, I thought he was really good for us, and he was a pretty decent striker, and I think he scored more goals for us than Peter Crouch as well.
Do you know also what it is, Elly, for me? I criticised Llorente and Pavlyuchenko so much especially Llorente when I was so much at the club. I'd be a bit of a hypocrite if I said either of them would start. So my friends always used to say, "You underrate Pavlyuchenko. Why are you saying he's slow?" Because my dad used to always say slow. But so I'd be a bit of a hypocrite if I picked the other two.
That guy could score some freaking rockets as well too. He definitely was known for hitting a good hit.
A really good shot.
Yeah.
One
of my favorite things. One of my favorite things about Peter Crouch was he was once interviewed and they asked him, "What would you be if you weren't a footballer?" And his response was, "A virgin."
That is very true. Because he's not the best looking of men, is he? But he's got.
That's why he said it. Because I'd be Clancy. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. I don't think Crouch came from our academy, did he?
No, Crouch came from the academy and then he was sold and he came back.
That's right. You're right. Yeah, he did. He started with us. Yeah. So I would start Peter Crouch because I think he's the one player that if we really, really needed a goal, he would come through for us. We could just put the ball into the just cross it and he would be up there high enough to put it in the back of the net. But he's also good, on his feet as well. So yeah, I would say Peter Crouch starting. And then I don't know a whole lot about Pavlyuchenko. I mean, I've seen some highlights and stuff, but that was a little bit before my time. I know he was definitely a good player for us, but I think Llorente, when you're talking about Llorente overall as a player, not just with us at Spurs, then overall I think he's a better player than Pavlyuchenko. I mean, he played in Spain for a while. I think Bilbao, is that right?
Bilbao.
Yeah.
Spurs were linked with him back then as well.
Yeah, I think he came to us like 7-8 years too late, and if he would have came 8 years.
But if it wasn't
younger,
Redknapp lost him, but he was a Bilbao.
He's a beast of a player. Yeah.
But yeah, for us, not necessarily the great. I mean, he was the reason we made it into the semifinals of the Champions League, but overall as a player, like in their prime, then I would take Llorente just because I don't know a whole lot about Pavlyuchenko, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Pavlyuchenko scored a really good goal against Chelsea, I remember. Yeah.
All right, here's the next one.
He scored a hat-trick in the Champions League.
He basically saved us.
I just want to add some context. This is going to be a prime Dele Alli, not last year or 2 years ago. A prime Dele Alli. We're talking, that flick goal against Crystal Palace. We're talking about those, those balls from Vertonghen and Alderweireld where he just one touches and blasts us into the back of the net. And then Dimitar Berbatov and Eric Lamela too, known for an excellent Rabona against a team, and then scoring a goal against Arsenal and then getting red carded. Elly, what is your start one, bench one, sell one with these three guys?
Right, this one's a hard one, right? But I'm starting Dimitar Berbatov because although Dele Alli is a technical player and he's brilliant and everything, and at his peak he was, but Dimitar Berbatov, he had sublime skills. That goal he scored against Charlton was fabulous when he just left the player for dead. And he scored some marvellous goals. He scored 4 against Reading, I think, one time. And the skill on the player, when we played Arsenal in the League Cup semi-final, he just turned on a sixpence and just put Aaron Lennon through. He was a marvellous technical player. I loved Dimitar, but I was crying when we sold him because he was such a brilliant striker. And the skill factor, that's the main thing, even more so than Dele Alli. you know, and he's a striker, and it's normally midfielders who've got those skill sets. Yeah, but I would bench Dele Alli definitely and sell Eric Lamela, because Eric Lamela, he was a ball hugger. He never knew when to pass the ball. If he could release the ball, he would have been a lot better player, but he used to hug it too much and pass it too late. So, no, Dele Alli gets it over Eric Lamela, definitely. The more technical player as well. Yeah. There you go. That's my
How do you feel about that?
I have to agree with Elly on this one. Yeah, I'm starting Berbatov every day of the week. Oh, I love Berbatov. He was so good. His first touch was probably the best first touch I've ever seen at Tottenham, or maybe ever from a player I've ever seen. For me, the memory I will never forget, and it's probably one of the goals that kind of gets overlooked. In that 6-4 against Reading, he scores this one goal where it's from a corner, and literally on the turn, he scores like that with like a first touch. I don't know if you've seen it. But it's probably one of my favorite Spurs goals, because it was just completely, like, I thought it was incredible what he did. And then I'm benching Dele because, it's obvious, and I'm selling Lamela because I just didn't think he had much about him. So.
Yeah,
okay, fair enough.
Apart from the Rabona, I think.
I'll start off. Eric Lamela, I am selling. I think that he never really, like, he had a couple special moments in him, but he just never had it, like, just had that special spark to him. I don't think, like, Dele Alli for a while, like, we were just like shocked by how good Dele Alli was. Like, I mean, he could head it, he could pass it, he could nutmeg, he can. I mean, the pass that he had again to Harry Kane with the mask, you know, like the back heel. I mean, he was just he was tricky, and he did it all. I think he was a special player. But Dimitar Berbatov is probably my top 5 favorite footballers ever. Like, I mean, I think he's one of the top 5 best players ever. So he's definitely starting for me 100%. There's not really a whole lot else to say about him other than he was just ridiculous, remarkable player. So, but I think Dele Alli was just a little bit more special than Lamela. I think Dele Alli just had that spark and that like a little bit of I don't know, charisma and something. He had something else that a lot of players didn't have. But Dimitar Berbatov, I mean, he's at another level.
The same game at his own pace, Berbatov, didn't he? Yeah, that's what I remember.
I mean, he did it again. He did it with Manchester United, Fulham. I mean, he just continued to do so well, and like, we're just
he's like his
really,
football
really
brain
good.
was just incredible. Like, considering
he was very
he
was very calm on the ball too, right? Very calm.
Yeah,
he just knew where to be, and
he had a great awareness of space and how to bring in other players with little flicks here and there, and they always came off. He was just a brilliant passer of the ball.
I mean, him and Robbie Keane were so good together, I remember.
Brilliant together. Brilliant.
But then Dele Alli, when we got rid of him, Dele just couldn't keep doing it. You know, Dimitar Berbatov just did it with Fulham, which is, you know, not a great team, but he still continued to just like, you know,
he didn't decline that fast. All right. Well, we have time for one more, guys, and then we'll wrap the show up. This one here is Elly. You're going first on this one.
Oh man, this is a hard one.
Right. Well, I don't consider this one a hard one, because I absolutely loved Huddleston. I think he could have been the next Glenn Hoddle if only he'd lost a little bit of weight and got a bit fitter, because he had all the skill, Huddleston. It was a bit like Dembele, but without the finesse, you know, that final finesse. He just was lacking slightly, but he's still better than the other two technically. And then I would bench Sandro just for his shithousery and the way he used to get up and down and the tackles he used to put in. And Genus, he sort of flattered to deceive at Spurs. He had occasional big games against Arsenal, but nothing to write home about. So I would bench Genus and put Sandro ahead of him, just for his tackling ability as well, winning the ball back for us. He was fabulous at that. Yeah, but Huddleston was the best footballer out of the three, in my book.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Haz?
Okay, so this is pretty simple. I'm saying Genus before we go into that. But the other two is quite hard for me because I really love Sandro. I just loved him so much. But Huddleston's passing was like incredible, but he just didn't really have the pace. I'm edging towards Sandro, so I'm starting Sandro, and I'm benching Huddleston because I just love Sandro's. I just love him. Remember the goal he scored against United? I remember he scored a brilliant goal against United.
Oh yeah.
And I think with Sandro, if he didn't have the injuries, he could have been like such a good player. Honestly, he could have been such a good player.
He ended up with my husband's team, QPR.
QPR, yeah, he did.
Setting back.
Do you guys remember his kung fu in the change room and stuff like that?
You know your career's over when you land at QPR.
Like Rio Ferdinand.
They had Adel Tarapt as well, I remember QPR.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We had Adel Tarapt too, remember?
I remember his day.
Yeah.
And
I just put Huddleston
ahead of
Sandro just for his footballing ability. But in terms of fitness and getting about the pitch, Sandro could kill everybody because he was a beast.
When Sandro was fit, he was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Sandro is starting for me. I think he just loved making a good tackle, and he just loved playing. I mean, you could just see like he just loved playing football, right? And he loved making a good tackle, and I don't know him a whole lot. I think he was on the team when I first started watching. Same with Huddleston. So I don't know a whole lot about these guys, but like I honestly loved Sandro when he was on the team for the first couple of years that I was watching, because he scored a couple good goals, and I just loved his personality. He was a good player for us. So I don't have a lot of great answers for these guys, but I would start Sandro, and I would bench Jermaine Genus. Sorry, guys. But
you're selling
Huddleston. Oh, yeah, I'm selling Huddleston. He just did he score any goals for us ever?
Yeah,
maybe a couple.
Yeah.
Not for a while though. He had like a 5, but he had like a 5 years.
His goal against Arsenal.
He did have a long time.
And then he went to Hull right after that.
Yeah.
Am I right? And he didn't score again for another like 3 years. And eventually he like made a bet. He's like, if I score one more time, then I'll cut my hair, because his hair was like all the way out here.
I remember that. Yeah.
Eventually he scored, but he went through like a 7-year what's the word? Drought. Scoring drought.
Yeah, he didn't have the fitness. He had all the skill, but he just didn't have the physicality and the fitness. But if he worked on that, and Spurs didn't help him because he kept on coming back overweight.
Yeah, I remember.
Really helped him with his diet.
Do you remember his goal against Arsenal though, Elly, in the 3-3? He scored that scream at the end.
Yeah. No, he's a very good player. His passing ability, that's why I put him ahead of Sandro, because he could offer you more in terms of passing ability. But in terms of all-round competitive play, I would have put Sandro ahead. It's just the fact that I think Huddleston's a better footballer.
Technically, yeah.
Jermaine Genus bleeds Tottenham, though.
Yeah, he was.
I like technical players. That's why he's in.
With Genus, I had such high hopes when we signed him, but
I know. He just flattered to deceive, didn't he?
Yeah.
He loves our club, though. Like, he loved playing for us, I feel like,
I remember in the Champions League semi-final against Ajax, he went, he couldn't believe it. He'd come back.
When Lucas scored?
Wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was really good that night. Yeah, but he's still getting sold.
real quick before we end this, I just wanted to pop this up. Dr. Tottenham is ready to see you. Let's hope that's not the case. I'm going to go around real quick. What's your prediction for the game?
You're going to hate me. I'm still saying 3-1 to Chelsea.
Okay, fair enough. Elly?
Controversial. I think it's going to be a draw. Like the first game, I think it's going to be a 2-2 draw. Yeah, because I can't see us keeping a clean sheet against Chelsea.
No, we won't keep a clean sheet.
Oh, absolutely not. I think it'll be. I think it'll be either I know 3-1 or 4-1 Chelsea. I swear to God. And I'll tell you why. Forrester is the worst goalkeeper I've ever seen. And when you look at Chelsea's game against Southampton and how many goals that their goalkeeper saved and how many goals or how many shots hit the post and the crossbar and stuff. And I think if they can just put those on target, that they'll score like 4 or 5 against us, because I think Forrester is that slow. He's just a big, massive tree, and he's just so slow. I mean, he's not going to get any of these goals. He's not going to save anything. And right now, they're really looking for a vengeance against their the last couple games in this month, right? And they're going to come out hard. And I can't see Forrester helping us at all, man. And Dyer in the back, just like.
I don't know. I can't see it being a draw, though. I think we're either going to put them to bed or they'll just save his job for another week.
I just said it was going to be a draw because we drew with them 2-2 at their ground, and I don't think either team got it in them to win it. Clearly,
they're solid defensively too. So I mean, they can they could easily stop.
There's so much quality,
and then just put 4 goals on us. Like they could just have one of those days against us, especially with a goalkeeper that's 34 and is 300 pounds. I don't know.
I totally understand where you guys are coming from, especially you, Parker. I could see what you're thinking about. But on the flip side of it, my prediction, I'm going with a 4-0 win for Tottenham. Because we could easily put 4 past these fuck faces.
You're dreaming, Leo. You're dreaming.
When it happens,
I'll take a 2-1 or 1-0.
You're dreaming, mate.
I'll take 2-1 too. But if we do win 4-0, you guys heard it here first.
But why 4-0? How is that gonna happen?
Because I fucking hate Chelsea and I want them to lose 4-0. That's why.
I mean, I'd love it. I'd love that to happen, but they're looking to come back, man. They're pissed after what happened last week, and
it's doable. It's doable. If we play against a team that opens up to score goals, we have a good chance of counterattacking them. That's just it. Forrester is a big tree, like you said. He is hard to score on, bro. He's a big fucking body in front of the net. The net is a lot smaller with Forrester in front of it. I just feel that. I just feel like our defense, if we've played good games, our defense has had games where we looked really good. We just kept a clean sheet. A clean sheet is doable. Let's not be afraid of Chelsea. Let's not give them the respect. We're playing at the lane. You know what I mean? We're playing with our fans behind us. And I think with everything going on, I don't think these players even want to play for Potter. You know what I mean? There's just so many egos going on in that locker room that they all care about their own stats. They all care about their own hair, their own cars, their own wages, everything. They don't care about what
honestly they were very unlucky against Southampton. I mean, very unlucky.
They got beat by a really good free kick, bro. Who's to say Harry Kane can't bend one in? I know that's a far shot,
they saved a ton of goals, and that's something that we're not going to be able to do.
Maybe Eric
No, we're going to put 4 past them. 4 past them. 4-0.
Okay.
And we're going to keep a clean sheet. And come Monday, you're getting the sack. Potter, I'm talking to you. Right. I hope you watch our channel. Potter. Because you're getting the sack. Yeah.
Potter's going to be in the chat. Fuck you guys.
Yeah. I hope you.
He's going to be like, Parker. Big up, Parker.
If that comes true, if you put a bet on that, that's going to win you a lot of money.
I'm not a betting man.
Great, so
exactly.
You're a betting man.
It's gonna happen though. Why? Because I'm a Tottenham Hotspur fan, and I believe that we can. I believe we can play and beat them 4-0.
You're dreaming because we win one game, and then the next game we always lose. That's literally been the story of the season.
This man's gonna come on and score the hat trick for you, Leo. Come on.
Now she's dreaming.
Don't you guys think Son will start though? I want Richarlison to start, but I think Son will start.
I want Richarlison to start too, but I think Sonny's going to get the nod just because he has to.
I agree.
But well, call me crazy, call me what you will, but just know I hate Chelsea fans. And if there's any at the pub, 6:30 in the morning, kickoff time at the pub.
6:30.
Be there, be square. Yeah.
Leo, I hope you have the
What
energy
time is
after
it,
your
sorry?
COVID shots.
Trust me, after some
Honestly,
shots
I
of
admire you guys.
Montucky or
I admire you
something.
guys for getting up so early to watch Spurs. I actually
You
admire
guys would do the same thing. Do you know why? Because you guys stay up for these podcasts. So if you had to wake up at 6 a.m., you guys would do the same thing.
You
It's
would.
true, I
Yeah,
probably
you would
run
too.
away, yeah.
We would. We do that for our Tottenham. Yeah.
That's not even nothing, bro. We've been to the pub at like 5 a.m. to watch the North London derby. This past derby was at like 5:30 in the morning, and I mean that turned out
You
like
guys
shit, you
drink
know.
at
And
like
then we
5:30
got
in the morning. Is it right? You know, afterwards, because I can't. I'm trying to think
What's
about
that?
drinking at 5:30. Do you guys
Oh
actually have like
yeah,
a proper
bro.
drink and stuff like that? Yeah,
Oh yeah. Oh
Somehow
yeah.
they serve us.
A few
But
proper drinks, homie.
yeah.
I'll be honest with you right now and say I don't go to the 5:30 games. I'll watch it maybe from home if I have the energy, but I'm not leaving my house at 5:30 in the morning to go.
Oh, it's fun.
No, 5 a.m.
I
actually.
enjoy it. You know what I mean? It's fun. There's
Yeah,
a
I mean-
group of us that do make it that early. And it's cool because like we'll bring the homie AD who's usually in the chat, you know, like he'll bring like pastries. Sometimes I take tamales, you know, like freshly
lovely.
made tamales. And you
Coffee.
know, just
Nice.
coffee and all and drinks, you know, like if you want your beer, they'll serve you up your beer. If you want, you know, you just want to be there to watch the game, you can just be there to watch the game. But yeah, but anything else you want to let people know what you got coming up, where they can find you? I know I linked your stuff in the description in case anybody, for some odd reason, doesn't know who you are or anything like that. Go ahead and plug up your stuff, bro.
Yeah, so both my socials and my Twitter are quite similar, so it's not that hard to like forget. So HazSpurTV is my channel, so please like and subscribe. And if you follow me on Twitter, because I'm mostly active on there in terms of socials, it's at HazSpur92. But you might find me on Sunday on View from the South, probably for a post-match thing, most likely. Also, my next video on my channel will probably be on Tuesday. It might be pre-recorded, and then I'll probably I might do a watch along on the Wednesday. That's not set in stone yet, but I'll definitely have a video out next Thursday for sure. Because I always stream on Thursday. So yeah, and please subscribe to these guys as well and like the chat, like the stream.
Right on, Hasper. Thank you, bro.
Yeah.
Well, we've been trying to get you on for a while, so I'm glad it finally lined up. You know,
Yeah,
the stars
finally
aligned for you to be able to come on, bro.
Yeah.
First, Elly, what about yourself? Do you want to plug your new channel and plug the THF I Die?
Yes, it's Queen Ellys Spurs Ladies channel. I've done my first podcast, and I've got another one coming up soon for the Reading game, because we've got a big game against Reading in the Women's FA Cup. So hopefully we'll get that one out of the way, 5th round tie, and go to the 6th round, and then it's anybody's game. Then you could win. We could end up not having a really good season in the league and winning the cup, so it'd be really excellent. Bit like mirroring possibly the men's team. And on the flip side of that, obviously I'm part of THSC Till I Die. I'm also on Twitter like HazSpur. I'm growing on Twitter as well. I've got 1,900 subscribers now, right? And it's under Queen Elly Højbjerg. So yeah, because obviously everybody knows that I'm in love with Højbjerg because I love him as a player. Yeah, and just get over there, subscribe to these two boys because they are fantastic. Mile High Hotspur, I'll do all I can to promote you over in England as well, boys, because you're lovely lads. Yeah,
we appreciate that.
Thanks,
Parker, what about you? I think maybe you have something in the pipelines running for sometime soon.
Yeah, I'm doing a Chelsea preview. Probably will come out Saturday. It's not going to be live. I'm just going to pre-record it. It'll be with my brother. He's a Chelsea fan. So it'll be the first time. I know, yeah. So I got a lot of good questions for him, but just like, Chelsea fans, a lot of them are plastic fans. They don't know a whole lot about the league. They just know about Chelsea. So I tried to ask him some questions about Tottenham, and he's like, I have no idea who that is. So so I had to keep it mostly about Chelsea and I have a question about Conte too, because he knows about Conte. So yeah, it'll be a good one. That'll come out Saturday. First time for my brother to be on, and It's been a long time since I've done a game preview, so excited about that one.
Yeah. I'll look out for that one, Parker.
Well, the only thing I could say is subscribe to these lovely people's channels, HazSpurTV. Get over to Queen Elly Spurs Ladies channel, sub to her, and I'm pretty sure if you aren't yet, subscribe to THFC Till I Die. And if you haven't hit the like and subscribe to our channel, we're trying to grow our channel, and we're just two guys on this side of the world that love to talk about Tottenham. I would like to say our podcast is too good to miss, and we like to stream on Thursdays. So if that's your twist, get in the mix, and we'll talk to you guys later. It's been a pleasure, and thank you guys for being in the chat. There's been a couple of new faces, so hopefully it continues. Lisa, stay warm out there on the beach.
It's quite cold.
Right on. We love you guys. Have a good one. Come on, you Spurs.